Shalom, shalom, family. This is Imanawa, and this is Amatazal from BOW Bay Area. First,
Shalom, shalom.
first and foremost, I want to give all praises and knowledge to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. And today we're going to be talking about, can we judge others, right? This is kind of like a topic that people that don't really know the Bible think that they know, right? But in all reality, most people don't know that we can judge, right? But let's see how, right? How that looks like and how, what I'm saying, we do and how we did it in the Bible, right? So let's first go to Matthew 7 real quick, right? Because this is the Bible verse that most Christians or even most people, like regular people, would go to be like, no, you can't judge me, you can't do this to me, you can't do that. But yeah, let's just get there. Bring it out from the top.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 7, and verse 1. Judge not, that ye be not judged.
Wait. It just said judge not, so I can't judge, right? Is that what it's saying?
Nah, that's not what it said.
Okay. Okay, let's read. Let's keep reading.
For with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged. And with what measure ye meet, it shall be measured to you again.
Okay, so pretty much what it's saying is like, if you judge someone, you're gonna be judged in the same manner, in the same standard, right? It's not telling you that you can't judge people. It's just saying that you're gonna be accounted for what you're judging as well, if that makes sense. Keep reading though, and stop at verse 5.
And why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but considerest not the beam that is in thine own eye? Or how wilt thou say to thy brother, let me pull out the mote out of thine eye, and behold, a beam is in thine own eye? Thou hypocrite, first cast out the beam out of thine own eye, and then shalt thou see clearly to cast out the mote of thy brother's eye.
God, so pretty much this whole story, this whole analogy, is pretty much just saying you can't be a hypocrite when you judge someone. You know what I'm saying? You can't judge a person for having a mote in his eye, but you have a whole log in your eye. You know what I'm saying? That don't make sense. You're being a hypocrite, right? So you got to judge accordingly. That's what is pretty much saying right here in Matthew 7. Let's move on though. Let's go to Salakia. Let me go to John chapter 7. Let's go there. Let's go there. And we're gonna go to verse 24 of Abakashah.
7 and 24. This is the book of John, chapter 7, and verse 24. Judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment.
Okay, pretty much what this is saying, the old saying, don't judge a book by its cover. This is pretty much what that saying comes from essentially. You know what I'm saying? Don't judge by appearance, but what? But judge righteous judgment, right? You know what I'm saying? You can't judge a book by its cover, right? So that's why you got to analyze things before you judge, right? You can't just be like, okay, let me think for 5 seconds and then let me judge the matter. No, you got to analyze it. You know what I'm saying? You got to look through it, right? That's righteous judgment, right? When you go into court, the jury looks at your case and sees whether or not you're guilty or you're innocent. You know what I'm saying? It takes some time, right? So that's pretty much what it's trying to say here, you know. But y'all got the point. Let's move on to Romans 14. Let's go here. Let's go to 14 and verse 13 about Kashah.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 14, and verse 13. Let us not therefore judge one another anymore, but judge this rather, that no man put a stumbling block or occasion to fall in his brother's way.
So this is not saying Paul is not saying don't judge another person, right? All he's saying is like, bruh, stop always condemning your brother and stop putting stumbling blocks in his way. You feel me? Like don't be that burden, towards your brother essentially. That's what Paul is saying. Just stop making it hard for your brother, right? That's pretty much what Paul is saying. He's not necessarily saying, oh, what I'm saying, you can't judge your brethren or whatever the case may be. Nah, just don't put a stumbling block, right? Don't put an obstacle in his way, right? So yeah, that's what Paul is trying to say here. Let's go to First Corinthians 4:3, Baba Kashai.
Uh, this is the book of First Corinthians, chapter 4, and verse 3. But with me, it is a very small thing that I should be judged of you or of man's judgment. Yeah, I judge not my own self.
Right here, right. This is very, 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 very important, right? Because what Paul is trying to say is like, bruh, I can't judge basically off of me. You know what I'm saying? If you judge me, or if I'm trying to have a judgment of myself, I can't just judge myself. I need other people's perspectives, right? You know what I'm saying? Like it's what does the Bible say? Two, three witnesses. We're gonna get that later, right? But you know what I'm saying? You can't judge yourself by yourself. That's kind of bias,
Uh,
right? So that's why Paul is saying, hey, get other people's perspectives, right? That's why Paul is saying what he say. But with me, it's a very small thing that I should judge, that I should be judged of you. He's like giving you permission to judge him, right? So people, don't be afraid of people judging you, or don't say like, oh no, don't do this, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Invite that, right? Because that helps you grow. When you get other people's perspectives, you know what I'm saying, that helps you grow. You can't always stay biased, right? That's what Paul was trying to bring out here. Now let's go to First Corinthians 2:15, right? Because this is very important too, right? Very, very important.
this is the book of First Corinthians, chapter 2, and verse 15. But he that is spiritual judgeth all things, yet he himself is judged of no man.
So this is why I say it's very important, because if you're spiritual, you're gonna judge all things. So when you come into a situation, right, where you're like, okay, you know, it could be anything. You're at work and something happens. I'm trying to think of something off my head, but pretty much just walking through life. You know what I'm saying? Judge all things, because you know what I'm saying. If you're not judging everything, then you're gonna be kind of like, what's the right word? I'm trying to, like, you're not gonna be as vigilant, right? Because if you judge all things, you're gonna stay vigilant. But if you're just minding your business, not caring, not having a care for anything, not judging anything, then that's where you're walking towards the wrong path. You know what I'm saying? So stay vigilant, right? Because if you're vigilant, then you're being spiritual. Because when you're vigilant, you're judging everything, right? So yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to bring out, right? And also too, just a FYI, we don't gotta get it, but so it says, what did it say? Yeah, for he that is spiritual judges all things. How are you spiritual? How do you become spiritual? You keep the laws and commandments of the Most High God, right? So that's pretty much how you stay. That's how you stay in the loop, right? You keep the laws, statutes, and commandments, right, and staying vigilant. So yeah, I just wanted to point that out. Let's go to James 4 real quick.
Uh,
James 4 and 11 and 12. Baba Kashah.
this is the book of James, chapter 4, and verse 11. Speak not evil one of another, brethren. He that speaketh evil of his brother and judgeth his brother speaketh evil of the law and judgeth the law. But if thou judge the law, thou art not a doer of the law, but a judge. There
Mm,
is one lawgiver who is able to save and to destroy. who art thou that judgest another?
So pretty much what James is trying to say here is like, if you're speaking evil towards your brother, what I'm saying, like real evil, what I'm saying, condemning him, whatever the case may be, right? Really speaking evil towards your brother, right? You're breaking the law, right? Because the reason why is because you're not taking the right judgment. You know what I'm saying? You're not making the right judgment. That's why you're breaking the law, because you're speaking evil towards your brother. The Bible doesn't say that we can't speak evil towards our brother. What the Bible's saying, Leviticus 19, to love thy neighbor. And also, um, earlier in the chapter, he also says, like, we can't be gossiping, we can't be doing none of that. You know what I'm saying? Can't be a talebearer as well. That's what this is talking about. You know what I'm saying? We can't be doing those things. We got to judge accordingly, right? And also, too, James is making it clear that, you know, the Most High God is the ultimate judge too. So if he sees you doing those things, he's gonna really get you. So yeah, I just wanted to harp on that real quick. Um, let's go
Can I get a
to
precept back?
yeah, break it down, break it down.
Can we go to 1 Corinthians 6:2?
Right, yeah, let's get there. Man, overflow. All right.
All right, read that for me.
God, this is First Corinthians chapter 6:2. Do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world? And if the world shall be judged by you, ye are unworthy to judge the smallest matters.
Okay. So it says, "Do you not know that the saints shall judge the world?" And we know that
Right.
the saints of the Most High are the Israelites.
Hmm.
Okay. So it also says, "If the world shall be judged by you, are ye unworthy to judge the smallest matters?" And that's going into, if you can't be a righteous judge of small things, how are you supposed to be in charge of being a righteous judge of big things? You see what I'm
Right.
saying? Things of bigger significance. You know what I'm saying? Things that the consequences might be bigger if you judge it wrong. You see what I mean? So the
Definitely.
Israelites, the saints, which are the Israelites, we are the judges of the earth, but we have to execute righteous judgment. You see what I'm saying? Not biased judgment, not judgment based on how you feel about a person, but righteous judgment. Because if a man is innocent and you don't like this man, you can't make him guilty because you have a personal vendetta against this man.
Right.
You see what
Hmm.
I mean? So, and then you also have to be able to judge the smallest matters, because if it's a matter of, hey, he loaned me this and then I need to pay that back, if you can't even judge that type of matter, what makes you think you can judge a matter right when it's dealing with somebody who's committed a heinous crime? You know what I mean? Or a crime where it's caused hurt or pain to somebody. So we have to
Right.
understand, be able to judge the small matters and then work your way up to the big matters and always execute righteous judgment. So
Most
I don't
definitely, King.
man right
Beautiful, beautiful precept. Beautiful precept. Um, you know what I'm saying? That goes hand in hand with what I was bringing out. You know what I'm saying? So let's go to John chapter 8 real quick, man. We'll start from the top.
there.
This is the story of the adulterous woman, right? We'll get there real quick. Bring it out when you got it out.
8 from the top.
Yeah, from the top.
Salakia, my bad.
No, you're good.
All right, this is the book of John, chapter 8, from the top. Yahweh Shai went unto the Mount of Olives, and early in the morning he came again into the temple, and all the people came unto him, and he sat down and taught them. And the scribes and the Pharisees brought unto him a woman taken in adultery, and when they had set her in the midst, they say unto him, Master, this woman was taken in adultery in the very act. Now Moses in the law commanded us that such should be stoned. But what sayest thou? This they said, tempting him, that they might have to accuse him. But Yahweh Shai stooped down and with his finger wrote on the ground as though he heard them not. So when they continued asking him, he lifted up himself and said unto them, He that is without sin among you, let him first cast a stone at her. And again he stooped down and wrote on the ground. And they which heard it, being convicted by their own conscience, went out one by one, beginning at the eldest even unto the last. And Yahushua left alone, and the woman standing in the midst. No, Yahushua was left alone, and the woman standing in the midst. And when Yahushua had lifted up himself and saw none but the woman, he said unto her, Woman, where are those thine accusers? Hath no man condemned thee? She said, No man, Lord. And Yahushua said unto her, Neither do I condemn thee. Go and sin no more.
Man, so this story is very important, right? Because this is a perfect example of righteous judgment. You know, the reason why this woman wasn't stoned was because where was her accomplice? Where was the person that she committed adultery with? They couldn't keep the law right if they didn't stone the other man too. You know what I'm saying? So that's literally a perfect act of righteous judgment. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to bring that out, right? An example per se, right? But let's move on. Let's not harp in too
And
much
and and
into it.
and understand what's going on in this story,
Right,
because this is another this is more proof that the Pharisees were very hypocritical in how they judge certain matters. You see what
right,
I mean? So they'll stress to you about the law so much, but if a woman committed adultery, the woman is not the only one that's supposed to be put to death. It was also the man that she committed adultery with. You see what I mean? So if you caught this woman committing adultery, why did you not bring the man that she committed adultery with? You see what I'm saying? It's
right,
because, see, Yahweh Shai was already ahead of the game. He knew what time it was. They were lying. You
right.
see what I mean? They were lying. So he already knew the game that they were playing. So they tried to tempt Yahweh Shai so much, but he was always on point about what they were doing. You see what I mean? So it just goes into pay attention to the story and what's going on, because it just proves the hypocrisy of the Pharisees.
Right. And like Matazar beautifully said, man, Yahweh Shah was like 10 steps ahead. He knew that they couldn't stone her. You know what I'm saying? So that's why he was confident. And then that's why he said after, man, just go sin no more. You know what I'm saying? Sin no more. Just don't do that again. Right. So yeah, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. Let's go to Genesis, right? Let's go to the book of Genesis real quick, chapter 18. And let's just read 18 and 19, Baba Kashai.
Uh, this is the book of Genesis, chapter 18 and verse 19. For I know him that he will command his children and his household after him, and they shall keep the way of Yahweh to do justice and judgment,
Hmm.
that Yahweh may bring upon Abraham that which he has spoken of him.
So pretty much this is a commandment to pretty much tell the fathers, hey, you know what I'm saying? You as a father, you gotta be top of your game. You gotta be just and be in righteous judgment. You know what I'm saying? So that's a commandment. Like, like that's how important it is, to say to be in the right path, to be in righteous judgment. Right? Because as a father, as the man of the house, you gotta make the shot calls. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's super important, right? Super important. I want to harp on that real quick. Now let's go to let's go, still stay in the law. Let's go to Leviticus 19 real quick,
Uh,
and let's bring out verse 15.
this is the book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse
Mhm.
15. Ye shall do no unrighteousness in judgment. Thou shalt
Mhm.
not respect the person of the poor, nor honor the person of the mighty, but in righteousness shalt thou judge thy neighbor.
Right here, it is literally a commandment. Don't do unrighteous judgment. Right? Don't do it. But also, when you judge a person, it don't matter if they're poor or they're rich. If you're Israel, you're going to get judged the same way any other Israelite's going to get judged. You know what I'm saying?
Con,
So that's what this is trying to say here. It's like, bro, you ain't nothing. But you are, you know what I'm saying? These laws apply to you. So you saying like you have to keep it. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna get away from it because you're rich, you know? Like that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen, bro. So that's what Leviticus 19 is trying to say. Let's go to Habakkuk chapter 1 real quick, Doc. Let's go to the book of Habakkuk, chapter 1. I always have trouble finding this one. Habakkuk chapter 1 and verse 4, Baba Kashah.
con. This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 1 and verse 4. Therefore, the law is slacked, and
Mm.
judgment doth never go forth. For the wicked doth compass about the righteous. Therefore, wrong judgment proceedeth.
Man, so what this is trying to say here is that, you know what I'm saying, when the law is slacked, when we're not keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments, right? When we're not taking heed unto this word, then wrong judgment is going to happen. That's very important. Bro, look at today. Look at today. You know what I'm saying? Let me try to find an example. Right. When the law is slacked, right? Let me think of an example. Yeah, so in today's world, right? Um, when there's things going on, like for example, in today's society, you know, when parents are trying to get custodies over their children, the woman's in favor of getting that child, always. Always, always, always. But you know what I'm saying? That's kind of like why though? You know what I'm saying? If the father is doing what he's supposed to do, if he's being like there for his child, then what's wrong with him, you know, not like getting custody? You know what I'm saying? He's doing everything he needs to do, but not like the woman gets favor all the time. That's that's like, you know what I'm saying, unrighteous judgment. You know what I'm saying? Because the law is slacked, right? The law is slacked, right? You know,
Look,
because
I got a precept to go with that.
okay,
Give
yeah,
me give me First Kings 3 and 28.
let's get that. This is First Kings chapter 3 and verse 28.
Bring that out for me.
And and all Israel heard of the judgment which the king had judged, and they feared the king, for they saw that the wisdom of God was in him to do judgment.
Okay, so this is talking about Solomon. Okay, so there was a situation where two women that came and they had claimed one child. So Solomon, having wisdom, he told them, "Look, cut the baby in half and then give it to both of them," because he wanted to test to see who would have who would have that emotion that would be okay. I don't want my son to get killed, so I'd rather give him up than have him be cut in half. You see what I mean?
Right.
So the lady, the woman in this in this text, she says, "All right, just go ahead, give her the let the other woman have the baby. I don't want no harm to come to the baby." Solomon knew that okay, that's the mother because that's the type of emotional reaction a mother would have about her child. Now, it says that they feared the king because of the judgment that he executed, because they
Mm,
understand that, hey, he's going to execute the righteous judgment of God because he has the wisdom and the spirit of the Most High is on him. See, when you execute righteous judgment, there's a fear that's going to come with it, but it's not a bad fear. It's just a fear to keep people from going off. You see what I mean? So when they seen that Solomon executed righteous judgment, they knew that, hey, he's not slack with judgment. He's going to execute the judgment of the Most High. There is no trying to get by him. There is no try to swindle him. There is no try to, you know what I'm saying, to be able to talk your way out of it after you committed a crime or
right.
after you basically sinned. So it says, and all Israel heard the judgment which the king had judged, and they feared the king, for they saw that the wisdom of God was in him to do judgment. You see what I mean? Because the
Right.
king has to execute judgment. That's his job, but he has to execute righteous judgment. You see what I'm saying? And when it's righteous judgment, that means it's not slack. That means if you committed that crime, you have to pay that consequence for that crime you committed. And if you know that, hey, the king's not playing and he's going to execute judgment because the Most High commands him to do that, you're going to think in your head like, maybe I shouldn't go off. You see what I mean? So judgment is for a reason. So when you execute righteous judgment, normally you get the results that you basically want to get from it is to have people not sin because they're going to be scared of the judgment that they're going to receive.
God, most definitely, man. Most definitely, man. That was beautiful, man. Like for example, King Saul, man. That's terrible judgment. He had terrible judgment. He was just, like we're Ratazan, right? He was making a lesson on the kings of Israel. He was talking about Saul for a period, right? Man, King Saul was going off so many times. He wanted David to die like a couple times. Like, bro, he was trying to get David killed plenty of times, man. You know what I'm saying? Because of his own, I guess, insecurities. You know what I'm saying? So he was making wrong judgments and stuff like that, man. That's why, like, especially us, man, especially us being the light in today's world, being the salt of today's world, we gotta be making the right judgments, like
Uh,
for real, like that's real. Because when we're not, look at where we're at in today's world. We're in the bottom because we're not making the right judgments. You know what I'm saying? Like we're literally on the bottom of the totem pole because we're making the wrong judgments. But if we made the right judgments, which we are, what I'm saying, later on when Yahweh Shah comes back and everything, we're gonna be on top again. You know what I'm saying? Lord willing, we see that day, right? So I just wanted to say that real quick. Let's go to Luke 22 to kind
uh,
of harp on that. Let's go to Luke 22 real quick. And let's bring out verse 28 through 30. Bob Kashar.
this is the book of Luke, chapter 22 and verse 28. Ye are they which have continued with me in my temptations, and I appoint unto you a kingdom, as my Father hath appointed unto me, that ye may eat and drink at my table in my kingdom, and sit on thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel.
So right here, Yahweh Shah is pretty much telling the disciples, hey, you've been by my side. You know what I'm saying? You've been ride or die with me. So you know what? When we go into the kingdom, y'all gonna be judging Israel with me. You know what I'm saying? Judgment ain't no joke. Judgment is not no joke whatsoever. That's why Yahweh Shai chose these 12 because they stood by his side, right? They stood by his side. So you know what I'm saying. This is very important, man. Like, don't ever think to yourselves, "Oh man, no one can judge me." You know what I'm saying, bro? Who are you? Who are you? Like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm from the tribe of Issachar. Oh, I'm from the tribe of Judah. I'm this. I'm that. Like, bro, quit playing, bro. Like you sound stupid right now. You know what I'm saying? That's that pride, and our people got that pride. We got to get right. We got to humble ourselves. Don't think that no one can check you. That's why Paul really made it clear. Hey, bro, I need someone to check me. You know what I'm saying? Because if I judge myself, then I'm biased. You feel me? So yeah, I just wanted to harken on that. Let's go to. We can skip that one, honestly. Let's go to Proverbs. Let's go to Proverbs. All right.
Uh,
Proverbs 27. Proverbs 27 and 12. Baba Kashah.
27 on.
12.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 27 and verse 12. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished.
Man, the prudent man, he already knows where evil is ahead. You know what I'm saying? He sees the evil ahead of him. But the simple pass on and are not punished. This goes into judgment. You know what I'm saying? The prudent man has good judgment. He's being like, okay, yeah, no, I'm gonna go a different direction because I don't want to go through the path of the evil. You know what I'm saying? But the simple, This the person that doesn't take righteous judgment, you know what I'm saying, is just gonna pass on and eventually get punished, right? And eventually, you know what I'm saying, just go through the wrong path, right?
Con,
That ain't good. That ain't good. That's why we gotta judge things. We gotta judge every matter, right? That's what Paul was saying, right? Judge everything.
and Israel, let me give y'all some advice, right? Give me Job 32 and 9.
Let's get that. Before Psalms, yeah, right there. 32 and 9, right? This is Job chapter. Oh, Slakia. This is Job chapter 32 and verse 9. Great men are not always wise, neither do the aged understand judgment.
So it says, great men are not always wise. So just because they have a high status, they might be a king or ruler, they might be
Mhm.
rich. That don't mean that they wise. You know what I'm saying? Remember that. And it also says, neither do aged men or just aged people in general understand judgment. And that's going into just because somebody's older than you doesn't mean one that they're smarter than you, nor does it mean that they understand judgment better than you understand judgment. Because if you understand
Definitely.
judgment according to the scriptures, and they're not judging according to the scriptures, and they don't have knowledge of the understanding of judgment, no matter how older they are than you, because
Right.
the scriptures teach us how to judge righteous judgment. So just
Wow.
because somebody's older than you doesn't mean that they know how to judge properly. Okay,
Right.
so always keep that in mind, that just because they're great, which means because they have status, money, wealth, or popularity, you know what I'm saying, because that's what it is nowadays, or clout, that don't mean that they're more wise than you. You see what I mean? And just because
Right.
they're older than you doesn't mean that they're more wise than you, because if they're not judging according to the scriptures, then they're not judging righteous judgment.
God, that's real. And you know what I'm saying? We like he was saying, we can't always listen to everybody. We all got family that, you know what I'm saying, that think they know everything, but they don't because they're not in this word. They're not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, right? We gotta first follow the word before we follow man. You know what I'm saying? Because man's judgment is not the right judgment. You know, that's not the right path. Simple, right? That's simple, right? But let's move on from that. Let's go to Deuteronomy 16.
Uh,
Let's go to Deuteronomy. Let's go to the law, man. Let's go back. 16 and 18. Bob Kasha.
this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 16 and verse 18. Judges and officers shalt thou make thee in all thy gates, which Yahweh thy God giveth thee throughout thy tribes, and they shall judge the people with just judgment.
So you know what I'm saying? When Moses was getting the laws from the Most High, the Most High had ordained Moses to tell the people, "Hey, yo, I'm gonna establish like a government, right? A system. There's gonna be judges and officers, right? The reason the reason being is because that's what's gonna make everything balanced. You know what I'm saying? You can't have a nation without judges, right? Because who's gonna keep everything in order, right? That's just reality. You know what I'm saying? If we didn't have judges, if we didn't have officers, if we didn't have none of these things, it's gonna be like anarchy. You know what I'm saying? Like people are gonna be like, "Oh, I'm gonna do whatever I want." No, there needs to be order, right? And judges are there to make that order happen, right? That's simple, right? So yeah, it's very important,
Khan, and to harp on that,
right?
let's stay in the law too, because you brought out a magnificent point. Give me Deuteronomy 1 and verse 17.
I think I was gonna bring that out, but yeah, it's all good. Yeah, let's go there. Let's go there.
Okay, Khan.
Yeah, that's my next precept.
It's
To
the
the spirit.
spirit, yeah. All right, I'll read it since you're gonna bring it out. This
Yeah.
is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1 and verse 17. It says, "Ye shall not respect persons in judgment, but ye shall hear the small as well as the great. Ye shall not be afraid of the face of man, for judgment is God's, and the cause that is too hard for you, bring it unto me, and I will hear it."
Right. Right. Matter of fact, um, reread that one more time. Or matter of fact,
You want me to
um,
break it down?
break it down piece by piece because my
Okay.
bad. Yeah, just break
So
it down piece
it
by
says,
piece.
"Ye shall not respect persons in judgment." So that means it doesn't matter the status of a person, what they have, or if you feel sorry for them because they're poor. There's no respect of persons when it comes to judgment. Whatever the consequence for the judgment is, it must be executed no matter who it is. All right. It says, "But ye shall hear the small as well as the great." So if this person is not as much as status as the next person, you still have to hear both their sides of the story. That's how you get righteous judgment from a situation. All right, you have to hear the great and you have to hear the small. It says, "You shall not be afraid of the face of the man." Don't let nobody intimidate you into making non-righteous judgment.
Right.
You see what I mean? Don't let nobody do that, because in all actuality, you're doing the Most High's business. So if you're going to let somebody scare you into corrupting the Most High's business, that means you're scared of that man more than you're scared of the Most High. And we know how that ends up. You see what I'm saying? It's not smart to do that. So this is Moses speaking, and he's telling us this. It says, "It shall not be afraid of the face of man, for the judgment is God's. And the cause that is too hard for you, bring it unto me, and I will hear it." Because at that time, Moses was the one that was the head over us. So he says, if you guys have a matter that you guys can't judge, bring it to me, and I will hear it. You know what I'm saying? But he's telling you, you guys first execute righteous judgment in this situation. If you can't find a solution for it, then you bring it to me. Moses was dealing with the Most High on a different level, so ultimately he would have got a good and great understanding on how to deal with the situation if it ever became too hard for us to judge appropriately. So that's just going into that. Don't have respect of persons.
Right.
Don't give nobody a pass because they're rich or poor, and don't allow nobody to intimidate you into giving wicked or non-righteous judgment. So
Beautiful, man. And I wanted to just read this part of this verse slowly, so y'all could really listen and hearken unto this, right? This is important. Right here in verse 17. For the judgment is of God's, the most high. You know what I'm saying? It's his judgment at the end of the day, right? It's his judgment. People don't understand that. When we judge our brothers and sisters, we're not saying, "Oh, this is me. This is all me. This is my rules. This is that." You know what I'm saying? This is the Most High's rules. You know what I'm saying? So you can't run from that. You can't whatsoever. You can't run. This is the Most High, right? So I wanted to make that clear for anyone that's listening. Man, this ain't no game, right? This ain't no game. We can't be breaking no rules like it's like Uno, or like we can't be, you know what I'm saying, doing whatever.
because the Most High is always watching.
Right. He's always watching, man. Always watching. Beautiful, man. Beautiful. Let's stay in Deuteronomy. Let's go to Deuteronomy 17.
Uh,
Deuteronomy 17 and start at verse 8. All right.
this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 17, and verse 8. "If there arise a matter too hard for thee in judgment, between blood and blood, between plea and plea, and between stroke and stroke, being matters of controversy within thy gates, then shalt thou arise and get thee up into the place which Yahweh thy God shall choose.
Read.
And thou shalt come unto the priests, the Levites."
Okay,
And
pause. Didn't we just read that in
done,
Deuteronomy 1? They had to go to
done,
Moses, right?
done.
Come on, man. Keep reading.
"And thou shalt come unto the priests, the Levites, and unto the judge, and shall be in those days and inquire, and they shall show thee the sentence of judgment.
Read.
And thou shalt do according to the sentence which they of that place which Yahweh shall choose shall show thee, and thou shalt observe to do according to all that they inform thee,
Read.
according to the sentence of the law which they shall teach thee, and according to the judgment which they shall tell thee, thou shalt do. Thou shalt not decline from the sentence which they shall show thee to the right hand nor to the left.
Come on, keep reading out.
And the man that will do presumptuously and will not hearken unto the priest that standeth to minister there before Yahweh thy God, or unto the judge, even that man shall die, and thou shalt put away the evil from Israel.
And read
And all the
this
people
last
shall
part.
hear. Oh, and all the people shall hear and fear and do more presumptuously. When thou art
God,
okay.
God, that's pretty much it, man. I wanted y'all to hear that. And all the people shall hear and fear and do no more presumptuously. Man, you hear this, man. You either with the program or you're not. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get right. And these judges, that's why the most high God had put judges in Israel for a reason. But you'll get killed if you slip up.
Con.
You'll get killed. Like this ain't a game. You ain't gonna respawn. You know what I'm saying? You get killed. And then you reap the consequences in your regeneration. Right? So,
And,
man,
and 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 if people sit here and say that, hey, we can't judge, we literally have a book called Judges.
look, man,
There's
you know,
literally a
so
book called Judges. You know what I'm
a
saying?
book
So
called Judges, man.
yeah, so like you have to, like, you guys have to understand, like, one, understand what judgment is.
Right,
Okay, Israel, we have to understand what judgment is. You know
right,
what I'm saying? Judgment is not, it's more than what people make it out to be. I'm gonna say that. You see what I'm saying? Because right now, if you think about it, everybody be like, oh, can't nobody judge me. Well, you commit a crime, you go to court. What you about to do? You about to get judged. You see what
right,
I'm saying? They're judging a matter that you. So it's the same thing. They took their system from our system. You see what I
right.
mean? So
Hmm.
we have to understand judgment is a very real thing. It's happening all the time. Okay. And even the scriptures say the Most High is known by what? His judgments.
Most definitely.
You see what I'm saying? So
That's how we know we Israelites today.
con. So
You know
because
what I'm
those
saying?
curses
Yeah.
was what? They were our judgment.
Right,
So the Most High, if he wanted to establish a kingdom amongst us, he had to do what? He has to give us structure. Judgment comes in that structure. Like, hey, if somebody commits a crime, somebody sins, somebody goes off, or somebody does ill to another person, they have to be judged accordingly for what they've done. Because if there is no judgment amongst the kingdom, then what? Everybody's gonna run wild. But there's no consequences for what you're doing. We're gonna be in a lawless society, and then what's gonna happen? It's gonna fall. You see what
most
I
definitely.
mean? Judgment is for structure, it's to keep the structure and also to keep everybody's morality, everybody's well, how can I put it?
Just
It's to
everyone in
keep
check.
yeah, it's to keep
Yeah.
everyone in check.
Hmm.
You see what I mean? So when people be like, "Oh, you can't judge me," but if you robbing people, and I'd be like, "Look, you a robber, or you can't judge me." Yes, I can. You a robber. That's what you do. You see what I mean? If you are a thief and you getting mad because people are judging you, calling you a thief, and they're attempting to do harm to you, and that's because you're a thief.
Man,
You see what I mean? Like, and when you do bad stuff comes upon you. The Lord is not mocked. Okay, you
right,
reap what you sow. So you have to understand, if somebody is judging you righteously, it's not a bad thing. If you steal from people and people are judging you and calling you a thief, how can you be mad? You a thief.
right. This- but this is the thing, man. You know what I'm saying? My feelings matter. Wait, I thought my feelings matter though. Matazai.
You know the Most High
Like,
don't give a damn about. It's like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
He don't, because it's not about how you feel. Because
right,
if you really cared, would you be out here stealing from people? Would you be out here robbing people? Would you be out here killing people? How much do you care? What about them people that you taking from's feelings?
right,
You
right,
see what I'm
right.
saying? That's why judgment has to be righteous. You
Most
know what I'm
definitely,
saying? So,
most definitely.
we're constantly being judged every day, all day long, every day. It's not a new thing. It didn't just start. It's been like that since the beginning of time. We've all been getting judged. Since Adam, we've been getting judged.
Most definitely. And
You
I
see
think
what
I
I
got
mean?
a precept saying that too. Later on though. Well, matter of fact, let me see. Let me see if I got it right here. Um, nah. Okay, nah, I didn't get it, but let's just let's just go to verse 6. I can Deuteronomy 17. I forgot to bring that out.
Okay, Con.
Yeah. Go to
This
verse
is the
6,
book
man.
of Deuteronomy, chapter 17, and verse 6. And it reads, at the mouth of two witnesses or three witnesses shall he that is worthy of death be put to death. but at the mouth of one witness he shall not be put to death.
God. So pretty much what this is saying is like, man, you need two or three witnesses, man. You can't just be like, oh, judge, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? You need accomplices to like make sure like, oh yeah, no, he was with me that day. You know what I'm saying? He didn't do it. You know, you need two or three witnesses to prove your point, right? That's just plain up on tables. The Most High doesn't because he sees everything. He'll judge you the way he wants to judge you, but you know what I'm saying? And like with regular people, you need two, three witnesses. It's just simple. Um, let's go to Proverbs 1. Let's go to Proverbs
Um,
1 and start from the top. Proverbs 1 from the top. Let me get there.
all right. This is the book of Proverbs. You said one from the top.
Yeah, from the top. From the top.
Uh, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 1 from the top. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel, to know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding, to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, and judgment, and equity, to give subtlety to the simple, to the young man knowledge and discretion. A
Hmm.
wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a wise man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsels. To understand a proverb and the interpretation, the words of the wise and their dark sayings. The fear.
God, man.
Uh,
That's pretty much what I wanted. You know what I'm saying? Solomon's going into the fact that wisdom is is like it. That wisdom is understanding judgment and much more things. So if you're wise, you know how to like, discern judgment. You know how to break it down. You know what to do in the in the situation. That's wisdom. Being able to judge righteously. So I wanted to bring that out. Now let's go to the Apocrypha, man. Let's go to the Apocrypha. Second Ezra chapter 5. Let's go to Second Ezra chapter 5 real quick in verse 42. Baba Kashah.
this is the book of Second Esdras, chapter 5 and verse 42. And he said unto me, I will liken my judgment unto a ring, like as there is no slackness of the last, even
Mm.
so there is no swiftness of the first.
Right here.
But
We kind of got to break it down. Right. Let's break it down. Right. I'm gonna reread this. And he said unto me, I will liken my judgment like unto a ring. What is a ring? Like this, right? It's this shape, right? Like a circle, right? You see it, right? It's a circle. Okay, Khan.
so
Like as there,
it's ultimately saying what goes around comes around.
there you go. There you go. What goes around comes around. You feel me? That's cool. When I read this, I was like, damn, this shit cold. This shit is so cold. Slack it for my French.
Nah, you good. It's all
Yeah. No, but I was like, damn. Nah, Ezra's was man. That was a prophet right there, man. Bro, he
He
had
was
he had he
definitely in
had the
spirit.
he had the cold sayings, and he literally rewrote the Bible, man. I don't know what to say.
And you
You
gotta
know
be in
what
the
I'm
spirit to rewrite the
saying?
Bible.
Yeah, yeah. My man was in his bag, man. Man, no, Ezra was going crazy. But yeah, let's move on, man. Let's go to Psalms 37. Now we got to give our flowers to our brother, man. That's a powerful brother, man. Psalms chapter 37 and verse 30.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 37 and verse 30. The righteous, no, verse 30, the mouth of the righteous speaketh wisdom, and
Mhm.
his tongue talketh of judgment.
Right. So the righteous speaketh wisdom, and his tongue talketh judgment. Right, because when you're wise, you're judging all things. Right. That's pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty simple. But David, he was just talking his talk, right? Let's move on. Right. Let's take a little precept. Let's go to let's go to John 5 real quick. Let's go to John 5. John 5, and let's go to verse 30. Start at verse 30.
This is the book of John, chapter 5, and verse 30. I can of mine own self do nothing. As I hear, I judge, and my judgment is just, because I seek not mine own will, but the will of the Father which hath sent me.
Okay. Keep reading.
Uh, if I bear witness of myself, my witness is not true. There is another that beareth witness of me, and I know
Mhm.
that the witness which he witnesseth of me is true. Ye sent unto John, and he bare witness unto the truth.
Man, so pretty much what Yahweh Shai is saying is like, bro, I can't judge myself on my own record. That's why I got John to be by my side. You know? I got John to be my Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai saying, oh yeah, I got John to testify. You know what I'm saying? In other words, right? You know, that we gotta follow the perfect example, family. You know what I'm saying? Yahweh Shai, which is Jesus Christ, right? Is the perfect example. We gotta do what he does. Right? Simple, right? It's super simple. But yeah, let's go back to Proverbs, all right? Let's go back to Proverbs. Let's go to chapter 21. And hopefully y'all learning a little some things, man. Because when I did this lesson, I ain't gonna lie, I got some new precepts under my sleeve, man. To the Most High.
21 in.
15.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 21, and verse 15. It is joy to the just to do judgment, but destruction shall be to the workers of iniquity.
Come on, man. It is joy to do just, right? To the judge to do judgment, right? But destruction shall be the workers of iniquity. Man, that's crazy. I made a note real quick right here. It says the reason why I said this isn't saying that people should feel good because they feel right after they feel right all the time, right? That's not what it's saying. It's that the reason why is because people is because judgment, my bad. The reason why is because judgment builds and an iniquitous person destroys. You know what I'm saying? So when you judge righteously, you're building for a greater cause, right? But the worker of iniquity destroys and makes things crumble. You know what I'm saying? Because their judgment is wrong. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to bring that out, man. Um, and I think we already brought that. Yeah, we already brought that out. Let's go back. Let's go back to Deuteronomy. Let's go back to the law. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 27. And we got a couple more, family. We got a couple more.
27 in.
19, 19.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 27, and verse 19. Cursed be he that perverteth the judgment of the stranger, fatherless and widow, and all the people shall say, Amen.
Man. So he's like, hey, bro, if you don't judge rightfully to these people, man, you're gonna have to pay a price, man. I ain't gonna lie. If you give the wrong judgment, if you mistreat a widow, the fatherless, all these people, you're gonna pay the price. You're gonna pay the price because these people need guidance. These people need righteous judgment in their life. You know what I'm saying? But if you mislead them or you judge them in unrighteousness, then you finna be cursed, bro. Right? That's plain upon tables. The Most High is looking out for His people. Right? That's why it's so important. But yeah, let's get my last precept. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 8. Ecclesiastes chapter 8. Hold up. And start at verse 5, Baba Kishar.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 8, and verse 5. Whoso keepeth the commandment shall feel no evil thing, and a wise man's heart discerneth both time and judgment.
Mm-hmm. Read.
Because to every purpose there is time and judgment. Therefore, the misery of man is great upon him.
Ooh, bruh. Verse 6 is cold, man. I remember when I read this, I was like, damn. I did that same sound effect of ooh, you know. It says, because to every purpose there is time and judgment. To everything you do. We'll remember how I said I had a precept like this? Yes,
Done.
it was this one. Because to every purpose there is time and judgment. But hold up. Therefore, the misery of man is great upon him. Bruh. It says the misery of man is great upon him. Why? Because we haven't been doing the righteous judgments. That's why
Done.
we're going through Deuteronomy 28, man. That's why we're going through these curses, man. That's why we're going through these things in this world. Because the Most High is judging everything, every purpose. So our job as you know what I'm saying, as teachers, as leaders in this community for our people, is so that you can judge righteously again, family. But also too so that we can make the righteous judgments on our people so that they can get right themselves because we don't want to add upon this misery to our people. You know what I'm saying? We're sick and tired of seeing our people, you know what I'm saying, down and about. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to see that no more. That's why judgment is so important, right? D- you can't run from it. You can't run from it because if you keep running you're just going to keep going through obstacles that you don't want to be in, right? So that's pretty much it, family. I don't know, Matizal, you have any other precepts?
Nah. That was all for me. That was all the
Okay,
ones I had.
most definitely. All praises. Well, that's pretty much it, family. I just want to say thank you for listening, thank you for tuning in. I hope y'all have a great rest of your Shabbat, family. You know what I'm saying, and staying tuned to the main channel. They're gonna have a lesson out today, at 4:30, right? But I just want to give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. I want to say shalom, shalom.
Shalom. Shalom.